Okay, good morning. Welcome to Math Project 98.
Almost to 100.
We're nearly to 100. That's fun. So, the Math Project 97, we introduced the Fibonacci numbers. Just real basic stuff about the Fibonacci numbers. And then at the end of that, we said, well, geez, last week we studied binary numbers. This week we started studying Fibonacci numbers. So, let's do the Fibonacci numbers in binary and see if we see anything interesting. And actually, I should say at the beginning of this video, I have no idea. There might be something interesting here, there might not. I really don't know. But this is what people who do math for a living, like math professors and mathematicians, this is what they do. They just ask questions like this. I wonder if there's anything interesting here. Okay, so you ready to take a look at this?
Yeah.
All right. Why don't you stand up on your chair, and I'll probably have to write some numbers at the top, but you can help. Okay, so do you remember Fibonacci number 1 is 1. And how do you write 1 in binary?
1.
1. Okay, so I'm going to write, here's my 1's digit, my 2's digit, my 4's digit, my 8's digit in those columns. Okay, so the next number is 1. So how do you write 1 in binary? Fibonacci number 2 is 1. Fibonacci number 3 is 2. Do you remember how to write 2 in binary?
1, 0.
1, 0. Okay, that's interesting.
Black looks like it's running out of ink.
Yeah, 1, 0. Maybe I'll switch to purple. Let's see if one of these purples has some ink. This looks like it's good. 1, oh, not really. 0. But it's okay. You can see that. All right. How do you write 3? Fibonacci
1,
1, 1. All right. Now we get to some tricky ones. Now we could get these just by adding, but let's practice figuring out just the number from scratch. How do you do 5 in binary?
So 5 in binary is 1, 1, 0, 0.
1. You need the 4. You need a 4, and then how much are you left over with? How much is left over after you take the 4 away? 1. So it's 1, 0, 1. Now this marker's going to drive me crazy too.
You forgot 4.
What do you mean?
Well, you see, it says 1, 2, 3, 5. Or this is in Fibonacci, I mean.
Right, these are 1, 1, 2, 3,
Oh, yeah.
5, 8. Those are the Fibonacci numbers. This is the Fibonacci numbers number. So this is Fibonacci number 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's Fibonacci number 5, which happens to also be 5.
Yeah.
But Fibonacci number 6 is 8. And how do you write 8 in binary?
8 in binary.
So look up at the binary digits. Which one do you need to start with?
You just need 1, 8, 1, 0, 0, 0.
1, 0, 0, 0. Oh, good. This marker's actually good. Okay. What about 13?
13 in binary.
Okay. Do we need a 16 to make a 13?
No.
Okay. So what are we going to start with?
An 8.
We need an 8. And how much is left over?
5.
Okay.
So we need 4 and 1.
So 1, 1, 0, 1. Very good. All right. Now how about 21?
21.
What are we going to start with?
Or a 16.
A 16. Okay. And how much is left over after you take away 16 from 21?
Then it's 5 left.
There's 5 left, okay.
So you're going to need a 4 and then a 1. 1, 0.
1, 0, 1. Very good. Okay, now 32. 34, I'm sorry.
Well, then you need a 32 and just the 2. So it's going to be 1, 0, 0, 0, 0.
1, 0, 0. What do you need after what do you need after your 32? You need a 2, right?
Yeah.
So 1, 0. Okay. Now, 55. I'm going to start doing these a different way now. Just to practice adding. To get 55, we add 21 and 34.
Yeah.
Right? So it's 1. 1 plus 0 is?
Is 1.
1. 0 plus 1 is?
1.
1 plus 0 is?
1.
1. 0 plus 0 is?
0.
1 plus 0 is?
1.
1. And 0 plus 1 is?
1.
1. Okay, there we go. So that should be 55. You want to check? It's 32 plus 16. What's that?
48.
Plus 4.
52.
Plus 2.
54.
Plus 1.
55.
Okay. All right. So now, 34 plus 55. 0 plus 1 is?
Is 1.
1 plus 1 is?
2.
2. 0 plus 1 is?
This is 1.
0 plus 0 is?
0.
0 plus 1 is?
1.
1. And 1 plus 1 is?
2.
2. Now we got to go back and we got to change our 2's. What do you remember what happens when you have a 2?
Well, you take it and make it 1 on the next one over.
Okay, so you take away the 2, make it a 0, and add 1 on the next one over. So
but then that becomes a 2.
that becomes a 2. So what do we need to do?
You just have to take that 2 and make it 1 on the next one over.
Okay, take away that 2, make it a 0, make it 1 on the next one over. Okay, so are we fine now?
No, we got 1 more 2.
We got one more 2.
So take that 2 and put it 1 on the next one over, 64.
Okay, so very good. So that's what 89 is. Okay.
144.
All right. 144. Do you want to do 144 all by itself, or do you want to do it by adding?
Adding.
Okay. So this will be 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. Okay. Ooh, this is going to be tricky. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, first we gotta get rid of that 2.
Okay, so this 2 becomes a 0. And this becomes a 2.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. So what do you have to do with this 2?
So I have to take it, make it 1 on the next one over, but then that becomes 2.
This becomes a 2. Okay, now this 2 becomes a 0.
And then that,
And that becomes a 2.
and then we have to take that 2 and put on the 2, not 1.
And so what happens to this 2? It becomes a
3.
3. Okay, and what do you do with the 3?
You take 2 from it and you move it on to the next one over, but that becomes 3.
This is a 1.
Yeah, and then that becomes.
This becomes, you take away 2 from here and you add 1 here.
So it becomes 2.
Becomes 2.
And then we have to take that 2, put 1 on the 2 and the next one over.
Right, so that becomes a 2. And then,
take that and put it in the 128 space.
all right, so now we have 144 equals 128 plus 16. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so 233. Let's see. 1, 0, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 1. Okay. So that shouldn't be too hard. Everything's fine up to this 2. What do we have to do with that 2?
Take that 2, put it 1 on the set of 2's.
That becomes a 0.
Yep.
And becomes a 1 over here. All right. Okay.
So 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1.
That's 233. And here's the last one, 377.
Whoa.
So let's add them up. 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2.
Well, we have to make that. We have to take that 2, make it 0 in the 128, and move it into the 256 spot.
Okay.
It's 0.
0, 1. All right, now let's just check if this is 377. Cause this...
Look, it's like steps. Ding, 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 ding.
Okay, yeah, so there's one interesting pattern. So hold on, let's see how long this is. Or this is 256 plus 64. You know what that is real quick?
No.
256 plus 64.
320.
320, very good. Plus 32.
352.
Plus 16.
368. No. Yes.
368 plus 8. 368 plus 8.
That is 376.
Plus 1.
377.
Okay, good job. Okay, so we made our little chart. So now do you see any patterns in the chart?
Well, it looks all like steps.
It does look a lot like steps. So that's first of all one interesting thing to notice. Maybe I'll do a different color. So first you notice that there's some steps. So one question you might ask is, how long are these steps?
Yeah, it does look like steps a lot.
Okay. So notice sometimes the steps go down 2, and sometimes they just go down 1. Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah. So let's see. Maybe we can.
Maybe nobody's ever done this before.
I don't know. Probably someone's done this before, but you never know. Okay, so sometimes the steps go down 2, sometimes they go down 1. So you could ask yourself questions like, when do they go down 2 and when do they go down 1?
Well,
So let's see. where they go down to? 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 6 and number 7. Number 9 and number 10. Number 12 and number 13. I don't know. It's hard to see that pattern. I see another interesting pattern here. Look at just the ones column. It goes 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0,
It's a pattern.
1, 1, 0, 1, 1. What do you think is going to be down here?
A 0.
A 0. And let's look at the twos column. Do you see any patterns there?
1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0.
So it looks like we have 2 ones, 4 zeros, 2 ones, 4 zeros. Maybe that pattern continues. I don't know. The fours column, I don't quite see a pattern there, but you never know. You never know. Maybe there's a pattern there. You see any other patterns?
No, I didn't see any more.
Yeah, well, maybe we'd have to go out further. So we see one pattern here.
And it looks like steps.
It looks like steps. That's another pattern. And this pattern here in the twos column looks pretty interesting. So we have 3 things we can see from here. 3 questions we could ask if we were going to study this. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
So 1, does the pattern in the ones column continue?
In the twos column, continue.
Okay, does it in the twos column? And then 3, can we figure out the steps?
Do the steps continue?
Okay, does it go down 1? Does it go down 2? So those are all really interesting questions. So the first one's actually a pretty easy one, but I'll let you think about that. The second one might be a little bit harder than that to figure out and see if that continues. And the third one should actually be pretty hard. But I bet there's something you could figure out there. So can we figure out the steps? How long do they go out this way? When do they go down 2? When do they go down 1? That could be kind of a really fun thing to think about.
Maybe the steps have a pattern.
Yeah, maybe the steps have a pattern. Okay, so that's what mathematicians do. They ask questions about patterns and they try to figure out a little bit more about this. So who knew it could be so fun to look at the Fibonacci numbers in binary?
Cool.
All right, good job today, sweetie.